So it's been a year since I started my OF and my spicy pages, and I just feel super anxious today, and I wanted to just come on here.
Isn't it crazy how corn stars co-opted the chili?
What do you mean?
They co-opted the chili.
What does that mean?
If I go on Instagram and I see a chili anywhere in a profile, I assume someone's selling ass.
Oh, you talk, okay, yeah, the pimento, yeah.
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 Chili pepper.
Yeah. Yeah, spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them now. I mean, before 2015, an eggplant was really just
Something you ate. Now it's something only gay dudes and women eat.
I don't eat peaches the same way anymore.
They gotta be self-conscious. I'm like, who watching me?
I wanted to just come on here and share some thoughts on my experience so far. I'm kind of scared to share my actual thoughts, but I just feel the need to say them in case anybody who's following me here has any sort of desire to start this kind of thing. I want to start off by saying that I definitely have a really complicated relationship with this whole thing, and there are things that I appreciate about it and have appreciated about it from the beginning, but if I'm being so honest, there really are so many downsides. I'm trying so hard not to get like super upset while sharing this, but if I'm being honest, my mental health since I've started this has just slowly like been on such a decline. And I would say that it started maybe like honestly probably 7 months ago, where about like maybe 6 months into doing this, about 6 months, I started to get super burnt out. And while I did have such a strong start and it was so much fun in the beginning, after getting burnt out, I started to just feel really differently about like the types of messages that I was getting, and just feeling like sort of the effort that I was putting in to it still wasn't, I guess I'm trying to say there's no amount of money really that you can give me at this point, and I'm like willing to admit this now. There's no amount of money that you can give me right now to like make me feel like giving myself away in certain aspects, even if they're just a few photos or whatever online. It almost isn't worth it anymore. It's hard to describe this because I realize that when I have spoken about OF, that, you know, it's typically been in a light where it's like, you know, it's fun, it's art, you make money, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm being so honest, that really is like the only upside to doing it. Like just the ability to very quickly make extra cash. But I think again, like just over the course of a few months, of like half a year or so, just going really hard at it, I think I didn't let a lot of like the messages get to me, but I was lying to myself, and I definitely think that it's like really worn on me over time. And it's not to say that I don't have like really good guys on there following me and like monetarily supporting me, even like checking in on me at times where I like, you know, earlier this year I definitely disappeared for a few months, even on here. But even with that, like just realizing that even those people are not people that I would call when I'm having a really hard day just makes it feel just so fake. And I'm not sitting here saying that like I ever got on there to make friends. Let's be honest, it's really just to make money from a bunch of horny men. But I guess I'm just trying to say that just know that if you are a person who's ever been interested in doing this, or if you've like ever been curious about it, there really is just like such a like I feel a little bit dead inside. I feel completely desensitized, and I don't know, like not to sound funny, but I really don't feel any type of like desire or like attraction to men in general anymore. And that's also because of my, you know, my personal collective experiences that I've had with like dating like the wrong types of men and things like that. But I think with this line of work,
To be honest with you, it's never the women who say, oh, I make great choices in men and find really stable relationships. I'd be like, yeah, I can't wait to do OnlyFans. I feel like it's always the opposite that's true. I'm not crazy. Like, it's very rare that I meet a girl, she's like, man, I have a really loving partner, everything's really stable, and I strip. I'm not saying none of these people don't have stable relationships. I just, whenever they talk about their dating.
men, you will never catch a man being more honest and more authentic and more real, and not necessarily in a good way, than they are, and the way that they present themselves to girls who do stuff that I do. I can't even imagine what it's actually like for real life SWs Like, I'm sure it's like 50,000 times worse for them. Like, at least to a certain extent, there's like a level of protection for me, just given that I'm like behind a screen, right? Like, I'm never actually gonna like see these guys in person or anything like that. But like, seriously, if I had any type of ability to share like the things that people have said, like the things that people have like the nerve to like DM me with, just like how disgusting they are. And also, I can't even count to you how many times the ones who follow me on Instagram, like when I get curious and nosy sometimes, like I'll go look at their profile and they have like a whole girlfriend or a whole wife, and sometimes even disgustingly enough they have kids. Sometimes it makes me feel so conflicted with doing this, and a part of me just feels so prideful. Like, I feel like yes, it's been a year, not like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but I do still feel like I'm still so deep in it. And I think I'm just being prideful, but I just feel like, and I just don't want to quit, because I'm just not a quitter. Like, I always see things like to the very end, and I won't quit until I'm physically stopped. This being like my one creative outlet to like, or so I thought, to like express myself and like produce this work that, like, you know, I'm really proud of. I do take a lot of time to go like rent these spaces and like get like certain types of outfits and like our lingerie really, and like do these shoots and like post them, and like editing is like a whole process. And like, there are lots of parts that I enjoy, but I think what ruins it is like when I really sit down to think about like ultimately like what the purpose of all this is. And it's really just to visually please a bunch of men who, again, a lot of them are disgusting. I've been sort of exploring the idea of maybe just having my content be focused on, you know, things that I'm actually interested in, which ultimately is not pleasing men in any way, shape, or form. Like, y'all can keep your money at this point. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyways, if you made it this long, thank you.
All right.
You know when you do comedy and then you step on stage and then you tell people, don't film the set. And then there's one person still filming the set and you're like, yo, I told you not to film. And that person tells you, yeah, but I paid. That person is entitled to do whatever the hell they want with your material or whatever because they paid. I paid. So I'm allowed to film if I want to. There's some people like that. That she's facing that. The person thinks that they can do and say whatever they want, whenever they want, because they paid. Yeah, the wonders of choosing to be objectified. People sometimes they don't understand boundaries. They're like, yeah, you're an object now. I paid. It takes a very special kind of people to do that.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart. Things, yeah, the money's good. The money's good. But what you're essentially doing is that you are choosing to objectify yourself. You say, I'm going to make some money to not, in most cases, in a lot of cases, not most, but a lot of cases, I could say. So yeah, it takes a toll on you. It's not because there's money involved that it doesn't affect you. I had some friends where they had some jobs that they really didn't like. They didn't like the job. They didn't enjoy working in the places they were working. And then come to time, they said to their boss, hey, you know what? I don't think this is good for me. I'm giving my resignation letter. That's my 2 weeks notice. I'm out of here. And the boss in the reply would say, you know what? You can't really leave. We like you out here. You're doing a great job. Here's a raise. And all of my friends that would take the raise and be happy for 3 months. And then eventually they'd be like, you know what? It was not about the money. I'm really not happy doing that. It kills my soul. It kills the inside. There's no amount of money that's gonna make me be able to enjoy that. I don't like it. I don't like being used. I don't like what I'm doing. So the money at some point was good, but all that fades at some point. And you're just faced with the fact that you don't really like what you're doing. You don't like to be in that position. And there's a lot of people that are demanding.
On the topic of her not being able to handle it, you know, to me, it's very similar to almost YouTube in a way. I don't think most people can handle being a YouTuber. That's why you see these people flame out and burn out, because they can't handle the messages that they get. They can't handle people criticizing them, people insulting them. I mean, I get crazy DMs all the time. I get insane stuff, and it's fine, because for me, my temperament is well adjusted to this. It doesn't bother me. Someone makes a reaction video criticizing everything, it doesn't bother me. I know some people who do, they lose their mind, and it messes with their mental. It is not to say they're weak, it's just they don't have a temperament for this field to work. The same way, I don't have the temperament of somebody who goes into the woods every day and then cuts wood, okay, and does logging. Some people have that temperament, but they can't handle the kind of work I do. It's fine. It's not to say one's harder than the other or whatever it is. It's to say you got to have a certain mind and a certain personality for certain kinds of work. Some people can handle manual labor. Other people would die in an office typing on. Those same people who can handle the really difficult stuff can never do the office stuff, right? It's a different energy. And the truth is, when it comes to OnlyFans, it's a very specific type of person who needs to be able to handle it. And an even smaller percentage of people can do that kind of work and be able to not have no negative repercussions, but be able to really stave off the toxic aspects of doing that kind of work. When I listen to her talk about men, you see how she says, you will never hear men be as honest as when they're there. No, you will never hear weirdo men be as honest as when they are there. Because guess what? Even if I was super anonymous, even if nobody would know it was me, I would never DM you no weird shit because I just don't have it in me. I don't give a fuck. And a lot of people are like that. But you have the perception that these men who live double lives are message you like that, so most men must be living double lives. No, honey. The same way, I don't think most women who appear to be very sane and cool, and then it turns out they got an OnlyFans back, I don't think, oh, all women secretly want an OnlyFans. Of course not, right? You're having a jaded experience because you go to the strip club and you think most men are just disgusting pigs. It's like, honey, you went to the environment where they sell the pigs.
You went to the slaughterhouse.
Yes, you went to a fucking whole bacon farm, and you talking about, oh my God, these guys are disgusting. Come on now, right? But this is what happens with a lot of this work. These people see phony men on a regular basis, and they get shocked. I don't go to Miami and think all women are like that. I don't go to the strip club and think all women want to pop for change. So why is the inverse okay? When you live online all the time and all you do is do this work and all you do is interacting with these kinds of men, it's normal that you're going to come to that kind of mindset. And I do think there is an interesting parallel with the fact that she's had terrible experiences in dating men, and then she goes into this work where she's going to then amplify that to the nth degree by meeting more degenerate men. It's like, honey, you're not helping yourself in any type of way.
Of course you're going to
Of course you don't want nothing to do with men. Of course you resent men. You first off made horrible dating decisions for whatever reason. And then afterwards you went into the field where men treat women the worst. She just came to the realization that people have been saying for a long time, which is money is not everything. It's important. It pays the bills. But you got a mental, a spirit, and a body to take care of. And jobs will sometimes ask you to sacrifice a lot of one or many of these different facets. You want to do construction, you want to do certain these labor, they going to demand a lot on your body. And that's why you don't see old construction guys oftentimes. That's what it comes down to. And I think a lot of people are reckoning with the fact that no amount of money is going to fix the fact that they're taking poison in large quantities every day. You know?
To be honest with you, it happened to me. Where I was working in a company that I thought the company was bad. No, not the OnlyFans.
When you said that shit, I said, I don't even know preach no more. I literally went, huh?
You don't be like that.
Yo, if you had an OnlyFans, I'd be like, oh shit.
I'm in my soft.
Hey, drizzle.
Drizzle.
That's crazy.
Breathe.
Yo, he said, yo, that happened to me. I'm like, nigga.
But not.
No, you started that sentence wrong.
Yes, of course I did. No, but it happened. No, but I was working for a company on the phone, right? I was working perceptions, accounts receivables. And people were yelling at me all day. And I thought people, like, this company is a bad company. But it's not a bad company. I was working at the complaints department. Everybody all day, every day was yelling at me. I thought the company was trash.
Yeah.
But it was just, I was in the wrong department. I was in the department of the people that was really just all day.
You know, at the end of the day, she decided to prioritize her well-being over the financial gain. And I commend that. People are going to judge her for their past and whatever she did. But listen, I think people can change. I think people can do better. And I hope all these people who do these kinds of work and it really affects them heal from it. Because I can tell you this right now, past a certain level of income, there's no amount of income beyond that that's going to make you feel better about yourself. In fact, the more that you strive for that extra income and you're killing yourself, the more odds are you're going to burn out and not going to be able to last. Y'all notice we did everyday videos during the pandemic. Every day. I had nothing else to do, so I was like that. After the pandemic, we release maybe 3-4 times a week at most. Something that's a really manageable schedule. Sometimes we don't release for weeks. Why? Because you got to manage this.
Even during the pandemic, at some point it was like everything was a lot, and you told me, yo, I need a break.
Yeah.
And I was
just
like,
every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was the money exponentially higher than it is now? Of course it was.
But I'm not gonna be.
I'm happier now. I see my mom. I see my people more. I do much better in my life. I have less problems. I feel like the quality of the videos goes up as well. I can do more fun stuff, right? It's just better. But you got to manage yourself. You got to manage this and you got to manage the job. One of the weirdest things that she said was, Like, these guys are checking in on me. We're having these conversations.
And it's not to say that I don't have like really good guys on there following me and like monetarily supporting me, even like checking in on me at times where I like, you know, earlier this year I definitely disappeared for a few months, even on here. But even with that, like just realizing that even those people are not people that I would call when I'm having a really hard day just makes it feel just so fake.
But like, and she almost started crying, but like, I wouldn't go to these guys if I was really in need of help. It sounds like this girl's incredibly lonely. Because I can tell you this, there's never been a time in my life where I thought, I'm going to go to my subscribers to talk about my problems. So why? Because I got my network of people. That's just something I would never consider. Not that there's something wrong with my subscribers. It's a weird dynamic where sometimes you have people who watch you and they just admire you to some degree. It's like, how do you relate to them on a very basic human level about your own problems if they're having you on such a high pedestal? That's a really difficult relationship dynamic to have. So I can imagine a sex worker that's probably weirder. So the fact that you're even considering it is bizarre, strange to me. You know? Like, don't get me wrong, fans sometimes check in, hey, you guys good? And I appreciate it. I think the concern is always nice. But to then go in and start laying out all my problems to I feel like that's just a weird dynamic. It's almost like the boss who tells their employee everything all the time and always just trauma dumping their shit. It's like, do they want to really listen to you or do they have to because you pay their bills?
Oh, really? That feels bad. Oh, give me a raise. Oh.
Yeah.
But I do still feel like I'm still so deep in it. And I think I'm just being prideful, but I just feel like, and I just don't want to quit because I'm just not a quitter. Like I always see things like to the very end, and I won't quit until I'm physically stopped.
Do you understand where she's coming from?
No.
You don't. Talk to me.
Just because of the health. Just the health wise, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm just biased about some things where I just really don't understand the right angle, right? But yeah, pride of what? Pride of what? What pride? The reason you're in the state you are in right now is because you're not so proud of yourself. What pride?
I actually disagree with you.
Good. Go ahead.
So you can imagine her taking the decision to do OnlyFans probably brought her a lot of social ramification. People saying this is wrong, this is evil, whatever, and she went ahead and did it anyways. To now quit and admit to everyone that they were right, yeah, that is a matter of pride.
I can understand that.
Yep.
You got the proof that, yeah, it is pride.
That is.
But
absolutely. How many people do you know who
pride.
do a job that their parents don't want or whatever, and they refuse to quit?
It is pride.
You'd have to accept that you made a choice that directly harmed yourself against everyone else's better wishes. That means that you have to accept that you were harming yourself and you made a horrible choice. There's a lot of different reasons why you might not leave.
This is what I meant. What I meant by, no, I don't see where she's coming from or where she get it. I see the how and everything. What I meant by that was, that could not be me. Because I'm going to admit that I'm wrong when I'm wrong.
And also, I would say this, to the people who spend their time going to these women's DMs and sending foul stuff, you got to look at yourself and say, why are you wasting your time doing that? Sometimes we even have fans when we react to a video and they go and message these people privately. You fucking, why?
Well, it tells more about you than it tells about the person you're messaging. You have issues.
I just want you to think about your behavior and why you feel the need to expunge that kind of energy to someone privately and say all these foul things that you would never say publicly to them. So if you're one of our fans and you do that kind of stuff, I would just rethink that. Because even though nobody knows what you're doing, it does affect your character. It does affect the way that you perceive yourself. And you need to dig deep and figure out why you out here sending this foul. I don't care how much of a disgusting person someone could be. I will never, and I have never got in the DMs and been like, ugh. Not from an anonymous account, official account, don't matter. I just think it's very weird behavior. So I just want to say that.